Ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. Hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. I'ma rep my city and salute my town. Said ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. I'ma hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. And I'm ready for whatever, and I still stand proud. Ain't no way. Who you think you kidding, dude? Never thought that I would do.
What up, though? It is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. It is night 2 of SummerSlam. And of course, we got members of the Main Event Roundtable. We got the newest member of WSN, Samp from the Samp and Chance Podcast. And we got co-CEO. And now we have to introduce him as a Hall of Famer, Professor Bear, host of the Bear Thoughts Podcast. Professor Bear, what up, though?
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. Real quick, just to go back to you being inducted into the Hall of Fame. How did that feel?
Man, it was amazing. Definitely an honor, something that I never in a lifetime thought I would be able to achieve. And for anyone who ever gets that honor from any organization, it is something that you should cherish and make sure you definitely thank the people that came in front of you, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have that honor.
Definitely.
Well, Brother Bearman, if I may very quickly, if it wasn't for your hard work and dedication and the things that you've done, you wouldn't be in there yourself. So, modesty out the window, man. You've earned it. Mad respect to you for all that you've done for your territory. And for this sport that we love, as one Gunther would say.
I appreciate that.
Definitely. When I met him, I said he's the Burt Sugar of wrestling, because he know it all, man. But it's well deserved. You put a lot into the wrestling industry. You know a lot. This platform that you started with WSN, you and Brady, and just everybody in the whole WSN family that's just trying to make this thing grow and get even bigger. Just hats off to all of us, since we all family.
Yes, sir. I love it.
Yeah. And real quick, just to let everybody know, this episode and every episode is brought to you by WSN. You can download the app on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV. Download the app. They got a lot of wrestling content, wrestling shows from independent promotions. You got cartoons. They then turned the video game into wrestling shows. It's a lot of cool stuff on there. So make sure you check them out. All right, fellas. So we're going to, before we get into night 2, our predictions and previews, we're going to review night 1. Before we individually talk about the matches, just overall, what did you all think about night 1? I'll start with you, Sam.
I was okay with it. I thought it was fun. I think outside of particularly the main event, I was really, really entertained. Looking at Punk, he's slow now. He truly is slow. And you can see that he's trying, but he's brittle. And that really showed in that match. I almost feel, and I've always said that the championship should be the main event, but I almost feel that they made the wrong move, and that Jelly Roll and Randy Orton should have been the closer with that match being, the co-main. But as we saw how it played out at the end, I can understand why they put it there. Punk is very limited in what he can do now. I don't care what anybody says. He's legitimately caught up. Father Time is catching him now. He's very brittle. And I don't know if it's just the two of them, but there was just no chemistry there. I mean, I really, I hear that some fellas that I know fell asleep during it. I don't know much about that, but I found myself scrolling on my phone a lot more during that match until Gunther reemerged with the bloody nose. But the card itself was fun. I really enjoyed it. I loved the opening. I loved all the matches, delivered something. It was a good pace. WWE is really good at it. So WrestleMania Night 1 Summer Edition, it was okay.
Yeah.
I had no problem with it.
Yeah. What about you, Professor Bear?
Well, I am one of those guys that actually fell asleep on it.
Oh, I didn't know that, bro. I have no idea.
I have no lie to tell. From what I watched, it was okay. And truthfully, I wasn't looking forward to night one. I didn't. For me, some of the storyline wasn't there, and then I seen most of the matches. I think, and this is just criticism towards the match of the structure and everything, not to the athletes and what they put into it. I thought some matches were. I didn't understand why they went the way they did with some, but that's any card you're gonna look at. The Seth cash in, everybody knew it was coming. Which sometimes, no matter what, you're gonna have the big surprise that everybody sees coming. So, but I give them props for trying and trying to make it interesting enough where people were caught off guard. So I give them that. But overall, it wasn't a terrible. It wasn't like I just stopped watching it because it was just so bad. It was just it wasn't it just wasn't so interesting to me.
Yeah.
And that and a lot of times too that happens when I do a lot of different wrestling. I get burnt out. So and the night before I was at a live card that was really, really good. So I think I was a little burnt. So I'm not going to say it was just terrible or anything. I just think I was a little more burnt out.
Right. Mikey, what about you?
I had no problem with night one. I kind of felt like it was the same on the same level of night one of WrestleMania. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. And I know that a lot of people have been like kind of back and forth with the night two with the 2-night pay-per-views. But honestly, I don't mind SummerSlam being 2 nights in the summer because you got to think about this. Before football season start, it's really nothing on TV on Saturdays if you at home. And baseball, for me, I get into baseball maybe like in September, like when they start getting closer to pennant races and like teams start getting hot or whatever. But for the most part, I didn't mind it. Like I said, if you at home on a Saturday and you already know it's not nothing to watch, you got wrestling on for 2 nights in a row. So I had no problem with it. I think the matches were solid. I was surprised by a lot of the results. Like I'm surprised that Karrion Kross lost. I'm surprised Randy Orton and Jelly Roll lost. We're gonna, of course, we're gonna talk about that. But other than that, and I wasn't surprised by the Seth cash-in either. So like I said, it was a solid pay-per-view, something to watch on a Saturday night, and I think night 2 is probably gonna be way more better. Guys, got any thoughts?
Sorry, Barrett, go ahead.
No, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, please you.
I was gonna say, it's a twofold for me because sometimes I do like a 2-night event. It gives you more to look forward to, but then I get to a point too. It's like, man, if you can't divide the card good and make it interesting both nights, it's kind of it's more like, oh dang, I just wasted my time on this night. But then again, you sit there with AEW, they put on a 6-hour card, and the card could be, and a lot of people opinion, the card could be great, but you're tired. You're like, oh Jesus, come on, this or this. So it's depending on what you like. Myself, I personally, I don't mind two-nighters, but do better with splitting the card where both of them are interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a world where we complain when we're not surprised. We complain when it's too predictable. Here we had a night where two of the matches that most people thought were a sure lock weren't a sure lock. You know, I'm not saying this is going to hurt Karrion Kross or, you know, whatever, but everyone had Karrion Kross winning. Everyone had Karrion Kross walking away. And for him to lose the way he did, that's a swerve.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, damned if we do, damned if we don't, as wrestling fans, I feel a lot of the times. And this is where the pressure of the company comes into as well. Like, what can we do? Like, we do it, you get mad. We don't do it, you get mad, right? It's like the weather. It's too cold or it's too hot. No one's ever just happy with what's going on. And I think for myself personally, Professor and Mike, I've stopped doing that, and I've just started to accept the product for what it is and critique it as it's coming at me. I mean, my personal opinion means nothing at the end of the day. I'm not there in that boardroom writing or anything. So are some of those matches I saw last night should have been on SmackDown? Maybe. Or Raw? Maybe. I agree with that. But here's the difference. You know, when I look at a 6-hour AEW marathon, okay, yeah, the matches are great, but 90% of the matches are all the same. Just the faces and the bodies are different. The movesets are the same. Whereas at least with WWE 2-night extravaganza like this, you get 6 matches tonight, you're going to get 6 matches today, last night. They all flow differently. They all have different angles. They all have different approaches. So, you know, from that perspective, I find it easier to digest the WWE content that way. But yeah, I mean, we were always looking for them to do something different, and they did that last night, yet people will still complain. So, you know, I'll leave it at that. But I mean, overall, I thought the night one was fine for what it was.
Yeah.
You know, expecting what we were supposed to expect tonight, we're going to get like the bigger names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, night one has to dress the table for people to come back for 2.
Definitely.
And
Well, I was gonna say real quick, I don't even say that night 2 have the bigger names, because we had Seth, we had Punk, we had Roman. It's not the names, and it's just I think with storylines,
Yeah.
it's the bigger story. Yeah. The storylines are bigger on night 2, anyways.
right?
They hold more weight.
And that's I guess that's the problem. If you do a few of them on one, and that's an argument, you know, that's just personal preference, because I'm not a Punk fan. Everybody knows I'm not. So, but the storyline was just like, okay, we know what's gonna happen. We seen they fake this with Seth. Okay, everybody. So if you do the teasers a little better, and that's again just preference, just like the jelly, like you said with Jelly Roll, everybody named mama knew Randy and Jelly Roll was gonna win. They swerved us,
But they did the right thing by doing it the way they did.
No, and I'm not arguing that they didn't do the right thing, but that's what I was gonna say. We were so disappointed that we got this one wrong. We like, so I agree with you on that point.
Sure.
Basically,
Like, there is no way Floyd should have beaten Big Show.
Right.
But he did. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
So basically, Bear, you would like to see the show, if it's going to be a 2-night event, you would like to see the cards balanced out.
Right, exactly. Just
I feel you on that.
Fair enough. Well, tonight might be hectic because we got that tables, ladders, and chairs match too, right? So it's going to be a hectic night, man.
And they deserve. And let me say this: they deserve it, because when in the last time has any of those guys been on the damn pay-per-view?
That's true.
And this is how a 2-night event should work, right? Mm-hmm. There's no excuse for most people to get on the show. If you're not on the show, like look at Bayley, she's not on the card.
But see, that's a storyline.
It's building, man.
And I love it, because it makes you like she hadn't been on the major 2. Now you see her, that slow descent back into the hill, Bayley, and I love that.
Yeah.
He's gonna cost her tonight. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get there.
All right. So real quick, let's do a review on night one. So yesterday, me, Samp, and Joe, we made our predictions. So out of all the matches, Samp had got the most. He got five right. Joe got 3. I got 2. So we're gonna talk about the first match. Well, the main event, CM Punk and Gunther. CM Punk won. He only had the belt for a little over 5 minutes. Then Seth Rollins cashed in and he became the world champion. Start with you, Barry. What was your thoughts on this match?
From what I saw, it was a good match. Punk. This is something I want people to understand too. The Punk now is an older Punk. Punk cannot do what he used to do because if he goes that way, he's going to be hurt. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He did what he could do. Gunther, as brilliant as always, he either wins or loses. He does a good job of making someone look credible, just point blank. And I don't think Gunther gets enough credit for that. I would have lost this because my heart, I would have picked Gunther. I've been like, there's no way they're going to let Gunther just get the title so he can lose it again. But that would have been a hard pick. I think it's good. Now we will see what Seth does now. And now you get to see the slow Braun turn against, I think.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam?
I thought it was probably the worst match on the card for night one, in my opinion. And again, it's nothing against either guy. I just don't think they had chemistry. I just didn't think they connected as a tandem. It takes 2 people to dance in wrestling, and I think people really, really need to understand this. I want to really clarify what I mean by that. Wrestling isn't just one person against a person. It takes 2 of them to complete what we see. One has to sell, one has to perform, one has to, you know what I mean? It's a true dance between 2 people. No one can clap with one hand, right? So it takes 2 of them. That's what I was watching for in this match. The chemistry wasn't there. It was legitimately 2 guys in there just working, trying to find something. And, to piggyback off Professor, Punk is old. It's really showing now. It truly is. He physically looks okay, but he looks like he did in MMA now in wrestling, in my opinion. He's just slow. and there's no knock on him, man. All of us are going to get it. We're all Father Time wins. Father Time and death are the only 2 things in this world that are undefeated.
Yes,
you can't
sir.
beat them, right? I don't mean to be dark or morbid in any way, but I'm really trying to hammer this point home. Punk is missing a step. Still better than any of us in this room or most guys on out there. But the reality of it is, at this level, at this major league, at the highest level, he's not the Punk anymore that he should be. Now, what's going to happen, in my opinion, I made the prediction in our group at 6:31 Pacific yesterday. Night one main event is going to be Punk versus Seth. That's where this is all leading to, because this storyline has been going on since Punk came back. It's not stopped, right? Yeah. This is continuously in the background, constantly. And for the longest time now, Punk has been a victim of Seth, because Seth said, as long as you're here, I'm not going to let you have any success.
Yeah.
Which he's quietly done. Elimination, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right? It goes on and on and on and on. Just little subtle things like this. Now he won the title, held it for 5 minutes, and then the right guy came and took it off him. Now, the problem that people are having with this is internal mistrust to the roster, because they worked this swerve so well.
Yeah.
And he went to Alabama. He walked around at his own gym with crutches. Like, he sold it. But you got to keep in mind, guys, and we talked about this, Mike, yesterday as well. We live in a world where it's impossible to keep secrets anymore because of social media, this and that. Now, how do leaks happen? It's people internally from your own roster that are leaking information out to their Saps of the world and Wrestling Inks of the world, credible sources. So until those guys and girls stop talking, they're forced to do these kind of things. So I commend the WWE and I commend wrestling for pulling it so hard, and respect to Seth, man, to pull it off.
Well, let me say this real quick. I agree with you totally, but there is not. Let's be real. Everybody's going to leak, no matter what. It's going to be leaks, and the only thing I would say with WWE, they would have had more people if they would have followed their same protocol. When Liv got hurt, they took the camera off of her. If they would have did that one thing, all of us would have been sitting here like, holy crap, they got us.
Yeah, well, so, we but that's us though, because we know it.
Well, not just us though, even because at first when I saw it, me and my wife watched it, and I said, "Yeah, he's hurt. And my spidey sense didn't go off because they showed him and kept showing it. Now, other people, smart wrestler fans like us, immediately like they're lying.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have did this again and again. You can fool some, you can do your thing. I give WWE credit for trying to swerve, and they did their best they could with making sure Rollins did the crutches. He was in Alabama, and ironically, they were in Alabama at the day after, so everything kind of worked in. Just one little thing.
I get you.
Would have made us all look like holy crap.
And the thing is, when I watched that, I thought, okay, when he started walking away, I knew something was happening when Heyman stood there from a distance holding the case up, and Seth just started walking to the back and stopped. What I really, if I was producing this spot, I wanted to have seen Bronson, I call them Braun squared, the two Brawnies. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this show. We had a show called The Two Ronnies back in the day. But anyways, I always just refer to them as the two Brawnies. It would have been better, in my opinion, if they had come back and attacked him from behind and then Seth dropped the crutches, but they made it so clean. They made Seth do it, which I think was great too. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with it, but Seth, it was really clean. It was probably one of the cleaner cash-ins outside of John Cena that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to say, I thought the match was cool. You know what I'm saying? Gunther pretty much dominated throughout the whole match or whatever. Punk had his spots. But it seems like, for me, that WWE is giving Punk his moments without letting him have, like, a long run. And I know it's part of the story with him and Seth Rollins, but he got the main event WrestleMania, but he didn't win. You know what I'm saying? He got to be a champion without actually having a run. And like you guys said, Punk is getting old, and like with his age, and then you already know an injury will pop up every now and then. Will he be the right guy? Will he have the title long enough will he be healthy enough to be a champion? Right. And I agree with what you said, Samp, about WrestleMania Night One. And I think we had talked about it in the group chat. So you think he's going to win the Rumble?
I think it's the safest move because, like I said, I think the man's brittle. He's always one step away from an injury these days, right? I mean, we can see this all the way from the AEW time, right? He spent more time on the shelf than he actually did in the ring. And that's a different level of fighting, a different level of wrestling. He couldn't handle it. He's not up to that. He's not Ring of Honor CM Punk anymore. I'm sorry. He's just not. And I think the story here, Mike and Professor, for me, is how long is Punk going to be chipper and happy-go-lucky Punk that he's supposed to be now? We're all used to the, part of my language, asshole Punk, and the guy, the modern-day Bret Hart of wrestling, I like to call him, in terms of complaining and everything.
Yeah.
Like, the story here for me is this: how long is he going to have that resolve? Because he keeps getting, Seth keeps getting him. It's like poking. It's like that episode of The Simpsons where what's her, Bart's sister keeps poking him. Right? Poke. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, how long is it going to take before he breaks? That's the storyline here. And it's good. As far as winning the Rumble, that's probably the safest one because he can be limited. But he even got hurt at the Rumble last time. Right? So this is what I'm saying. So I don't know how they're going to do this. We have a lot of time to build this up. I mean, it is what it is. But, I almost feel whoever's going to win the Rumble, it has to be him. You give him that moment, he finally wins his Rumble, he wins his title, someone takes it off him in a month, and you go your way. This is what this build-up is for. Gunther, his nose is legitimately broken.
Yeah.
And it was broken going into the match. Okay, so he's actually getting surgery done. I'm not saying as we speak, but today, tomorrow, he will be getting surgery done on that nose. So the blood was a work, but the nose itself was legitimately broken.
Got you.
So real quick, I think as much as I am not a Punk fan, I will say this. I think Punk has grown older and grown wiser.
Sure.
That he is just legitimately happy to be back in the WWE. He realized the mistakes he made and they made. Exactly, the money part. Plus, he enjoys it. He's going to be down training the younger guys and girls. That's his big thing.
Yeah.
So I think that is fine. He's going to get his moment and go out. That's fine too. I think that I don't think he's going to get the main event again. I think they're going to do something where he can win the title, have a little run, and then he goes away. That's just my personal opinion. And I think that the storyline they've been doing has been okay and stuff, but he's still that asshole. He's just a nicer asshole because he's told everybody it's about the money. It's money and championship. And people just love him so much they can accept it versus if that was Karrion Kross, they would boo. So
hey, Professor, can you say asshole again?
Asshole.
Just with that Tennessee twang.
That asshole.
Sorry about it. I had to say. I love it.
All right, sure.
That Southern twang, man. You guys cuss the best.
All right, y'all. Let's talk about this tag match. Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I was actually surprised that this was a pretty good, decent match. Like I said, and I always say this with celebrities getting into wrestling, I don't have a problem with it as long as they taking it serious and not, I'm here, but I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? And I think Jelly Roll was one of them guys. He said it years back that he wanted to do something, get in the ring with WWE. And Triple H told him, like, hey, you lose some weight, we can get you in the ring. He did it. So I got to give him props just off the dedication, him wanting to do that. And I think it was definitely a good choice replacing Jelly Roll with Travis Scott after all the controversy with him or whatever. But that's my thoughts on the match. I thought it was good. I was surprised by the ending because I thought we was going to have those Randy Orton and Jelly Roll was going to win. But like y'all been saying, they've been pulling the swerve on us on night one. So, Sam, what did you think about this tag match?
All right, so the match itself went really well. I thought it played out exactly the way it should have played out with Logan and Drew winning, just because in essence, really, it truly was a 2-1 on handicap match. I mean, that's the way we had to look at it. Now, if we look at celebrities, everything changed after Bad Bunny. He set the bar, in my opinion, for any celebrity coming into wrestling after what he did. And you can see that with a lot of the guys that are coming in, as celebrities. Hey, how are you? Oh, you know what? Not today, man. I'm too tired. All right. Very quickly. Do I have it here? Oh, here we go. This is for you, Mr. Q. Yes. All right. There we go. That being said, like I said, damned if they do, damned if they don't. Everyone wanted, to see the Jelly Roll and Randy Orton victory. But you know what? This just opens the door for them to do more, right? And legitimately, one can argue say that Logan Paul is now a veteran in some ways. And what I took away from this match, and I said this to you guys on the preview yesterday, I believe, Mike, if we run back that tape, I'm impressed by how well Jelly Roll is able to sell.
Yeah.
And the selling that he did in that match, like he had no business being in there as long as he did.
Yeah.
But he took a beating. The story was told. They executed it perfectly. And the great guys won in terms of the way it should have gone. Not what we wanted, the way it actually should have played out. Drew and Logan should have won. Okay? Unless it was a case where Randy Orton RKO'd everybody and then Jelly Roll came in and was able to finish it off. But the way they sold the match, the way they played it out, everything was fine, and I had no problem with it. It opens the door for Jelly Roll to come back even stronger, work even harder, and get another opportunity at this. And I had no problem with it, man. I really didn't. I don't walk away thinking this hurt Randy. I don't think this hurt Jelly Roll. I think it didn't hurt anybody. It just kept everyone even keel, and it was a good build-up, and I was invested. And for me, it was probably one of the funner matches of the evening.
Yeah, definitely agree. What you think, Professor Bear?
I was asleep. I was asleep.
Very quickly, and I'm glad that's the only one I got wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this for celebrity. When they have celebrities come and do wrestling, I agree 100% with Sat that you are getting more and more of celebrities coming in and actually taking it serious. They understand that this is not a joke. You have to put in the time, the dedication to look good. Yeah. Now, with that being said, I think they need to limit how many celebrities come in to do wrestling. The reason being because I'm a old school purist. Even though everybody knows you can come into wrestling and it's is predetermined and all that, I it takes away from me. This is my opinion. It takes away from the guys and girls who are there every day busting their ass. Now, it brings more eyes to it, yes, but then you have those, see, I told you this is fake. If Jelly Roll can do it, anybody can do it. That kind of nonsense. It takes away from the guys and girls who are there constantly busting their ass trying to make this their living. It takes away from the independent wrestlers who grind and grind and grind to get to this spot. Now, again, no disrespect to Jelly Roll, to Bad Bunny, any of them. You can tell it's a passion of theirs, and I love it. But I just, for that spot, and we were talking about this before we went live, I would have rather seen one of the guys and girls who's there constantly have a shot at being on a pay-per-view, just like Karrion Kross. I use him as an example, is because Yes, Snooki was. Well, anyway, that Karrion Kross had to do his own thing to make it where he can make a pay-per-view, and I think that takes away, just like with and I know I'm going a little sideways with this, but like Gunther is hurt, so now you don't have a heel. Now you need somebody to step up to be a main event heel, right? But now you got all these people that you hadn't did nothing with, that you won't give a chance to, and now you got to scramble to try to find someone to replace that heel. And then if they do one thing wrong, they get one shot. It's wrong. Oh, they wasn't ready. They're not this and that. And I just think it gets old and it's silly. You got to do better, WWE is for. And again, I'm just that type of person. You can call me the modern day Jim Cornette.
Cheeseburger. Look, Professor, we were talking about this off air. I'll say this for Karrion Kross. He did get opportunities. We can't say he didn't, because he did. He had the AOP. He had Paul Ehrling. They had their little faction. It just didn't gel. It didn't work. So there isn't a lack of opportunity for the man, in my opinion. But, I mean, maybe they could have pushed it better. But I think he did get his chance. Now, with Gunther actually legitimately injured and out for a little bit, this should open the door for some of the local guys and girls to, at least the guys, to step up now. Here's an opportunity. Let's see what they can do. I mean, again, it comes down to them as well. You can push someone as much as you want, and I'm sure you've seen this on the indie level as well, sir, that you can push someone, but if the crowd doesn't buy into you, then the crowd doesn't buy into you. You have to change something yourself in order to get that reaction from that crowd, right? I mean, it just is what it is. It's who latches on and who gets that crowd attention. Like, let's look at Ron Killings, R-Truth. Where the hell is he now?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He's literally
my point.
back. He's literally, but the crowd lost interest.
Yeah.
And he's literally back where he was when he got released.
Why? But here's the thing. Why did
Bastard Chief is for nothing?
Why did they lose interest? It's not that Ron started doing something. They're like, oh God, no. It's because the storyline. Look at what the first thing that happened was him and John. Everybody was amazed by that. And then what did they do? They threw him against who? Aleister Black. No disrespect to Aleister Black. But it's two different levels.
But they basically used R-Truth to set up the angle with Aleister and Damian.
Yes, but
that's all it was for. It wasn't even Aleister versus R-Truth.
That's my point. They used R-Truth while he was hot to get another person over. They didn't capitalize on him. And again, I'm gonna say this, and then we'll go on, so we won't take all the time. But you can see this when Rusev got naturally hot when it was Rusev Day. They didn't capitalize. They have a tendency, when you get over with the fans by yourself, they don't use it, and then they want to holler, well, you're not ready for the big time. Yeah. If you don't help, and when I mean help, if you don't capitalize and give them bigger opportunities instead of putting them against the same people that they say on your same level, it's not going to go anywhere.
Okay, if I may very quickly, then we can move on. I'm sorry, brother Mike. I apologize. I just got to get this out. I call what you just said the Vince McMahon effect. Okay, if McMahon didn't get you over and you got yourself over, let's look at Zack Ryder, let's look at Daniel O'Brien. All right, they forced McMahon's hand because they wouldn't stop being relentless about it. Okay, now as much as we want to say, okay, there's no more McMahon, but the McMahon effect still exists in this regime. All right,
and Not just this one.
let's look at one guy named Austin Theory. Look at the push he was getting because he was a McMahon guy.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as McMahon left, they stopped pushing him. Why? Because he wasn't a Triple H guy. So as cool as Triple H is and everything, he still has McMahon tendencies. If he's not your guy, he's not going to push you. Sort of a deal. Same kind of thing here. Triple H did not want to re-sign R-Truth. He did not want to bring him back. But he was forced to.
Yeah.
Right? And to be completely fair, R-Truth did nothing, honestly, to really build off that momentum himself. He stayed the same. Outside of shaving his head, he was still the same guy.
That's true.
All right. That's all I'm saying. But, I mean, we can go back and forth here. But
Right. And this will be we're going to have the group together and do this.
No, dude. But the funny thing is, the more we go back and forth on this, I feel like we agree more than we disagree. We're just
but that to me, that's the point of having people look at it from different points of views. Yeah. Not to say that you're wrong or I'm wrong. It's just like, hey, look at it from this point.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only guy that's always wrong is Joe Monroe. He's not here. So go. I love you, Joe. I hope you're feeling better, brother.
Yeah, shout out to Joe. He's a little under the weather today. Couldn't join us, so still want to give him a shout out. Hope you're feeling better. All right, fellas. So the next match, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. I think I just went with Jade just in case it's an upset, but I think Samp and Joe picked Tiffany Stratton. Professor Bear, start with you. What did you think about this match?
I didn't see it, and I'm not hurt that I didn't. I would say this: as much as Jade has came along, she has. I didn't think she was ready for the world's title. I think that I think it was good for them to push her, to give her the exposure. Sometimes not even being a champion, winning a championship is good because it gives you the exposure and things you work on. The one person I think right off the top of my head I remember was Ron Simmons back in WCW when they were pushing him against Lex Luger. And I was like, man, he ain't ready. I just like, and he wasn't. And again, this is just my opinion. He wasn't ready. But then when he got the opportunity, he was ready. He came a different way. He learned from that opportunity. And sometimes you need just the opportunities to learn, oh, hey, I need this craft. Oh, I need to learn this. So I think Jay will be ready. Plus, the money wasn't for her to win the championship. It's her and Bianca. That's where the money lies. And I think it's, again, to have some where they can say, hey, she went for the world title, so she's ready. It's good to help her credibility. That's the word I was looking for.
That's what's up. What did you think about the match, Sam?
Everything the professor said, I said yesterday before the fight even happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that basically is how it played out. I'm not saying that Tiffany's green, but she's green as a ring general in terms of leading a match.
Yeah.
And that's what Jade still needs, is that ring general. Bianca's there now.
Yeah.
Rhea's there now in terms of the current roster. Charlotte's there. Even Alexa's there. Okay? I'll even say Raquel Rodriguez is there.
I would even go as far as to say Roxanne Perez is there too.
Roxanne is a modern day phenomenon in terms of what she's accomplished. Yeah. But we'll talk about her after. Jade needs more seasoning. She needs to work with someone. And we saw that in that match. And they kind of alluded to it a bit that she lost the match because she wasn't 100, she didn't have that in-ring experience. You know what I mean? And they played that angle well. Tiffany's a good champion, but she's not ready to lead a match herself. She's still learning. right? I mean, she's legit learning. The difference between Roxanne and her, they came from two different places.
Yes.
Right? One came from the Performance Center, crafted, molded, and made Tiffany Stratton, where Roxanne came from where we come from, playing video games, watching it for the first time, falling in love with it, going to wrestling school, going that path. And this is why Roxanne is where Roxanne is right now, man.
Yeah.
But as far as the match goes, it was what it was supposed to be. Tiffany wins. I don't have a problem with it. Bianca comes back. This could be WrestleMania match, and this is where it's going to lead up to. You're going to get Jade and Bianca at WrestleMania for that belt. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. Real quick, before we go to the next match, I just want to say, the right person won this match. I would say for Jade, and for me, Jade hasn't really had that many big storylines. Like, as far outside of the one that she had with Naomi, what other big storylines has Jade had?
Well, I mean, her tag team title run with
the tag team titles, but as far as like single storylines,
but I think Joe said it best, though, man. Sorry to cut you off, Mike. Joe said it best yesterday, where she is one of those victims of not being able to go to NXT and working down there for a while.
Yeah.
Right? I think that would have helped her a lot. They pushed her to the main roster too fast. I mean, if you look at the two girls that should have probably gone to the main roster right away, would have been Julia
and Stephanie
Vaquer. But even they went to NXT first, not to learn wrestling, but learn the production side of it, how that works, where to look, where not to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and I would say Jordan Grace honestly didn't need NXT.
No.
Nah. And I thought she was on her way up to the main roster at one time.
Should have.
It's all about seasoning. It's all about seasoning. Because if you think about where Jade came from, and I made mention of this yesterday, they do not know TV production down there. I'm sorry, man. I hate shitting on AEW. I really do. It hurts me because I don't want to. But after that chair shot to Christian on Collision, that was horrible.
Yeah.
You can't even mask that.
Yeah. And they showed it at a different angle too, and this is like they made it so obvious that he didn't hit him. It was just like, they got to do better.
They be shooting an angle where the chairs are fucking. Part of my language. I apologize. Where the chair should be 5 inches above the man's head. Either way.
Definitely. All right, y'all. So let's talk about this match. And I think this caught everybody by surprise. Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. A lot of us, when we did the show yesterday, we all picked Karrion Kross to win, and they put another swerve on us on night one. So, Samp, what did you think about this match? Did you agree with the result?
At the time when I watched it, I'm thinking, whoa, why? Well, what's going on? But you know what? It made sense because, like I said before, damned if they do, damned if they don't. People are upset that he won again, that Sami won again, and whatnot, but we're always saying, okay, swerve us, give us something more. Well, here, you know what? They got us. Okay, we all predicted it. I'm sure everybody and their uncle and aunt and grandparents, all said, oh, yeah, Karrion's going to win. I don't think this hurts Karrion.
No.
Right? And if anything, it just keeps people talking.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want at the end of the day? So where do they go from here? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, the match was good. It was okay. I wish Scarlett got a bit more involved, especially with all the spikes and everything she had on her arms. I'd love to have seen her punch Sami in the face or something. But that psychology of the games that they're playing, it doesn't hurt anybody here, man. I just think it was just one of those kind of matches that could have been done on SmackDown, like I said before, or Raw. But, I hate to say it, but that was the bathroom match of the night.
What did you think, Professor Bear?
I did see the ending of it. I would say this. As much as everybody thought Karrion was going to win, after thinking about it and listening to Sat, I agree that it doesn't hurt Kross at all. I think, and this is something, and I think we all hadn't thought about this. this is actually a good thing for Sammy. Give him some wins because he's never won a world championship. This could be to help prevail him to that. Plus, wouldn't it be something crazy if Sammy took the title off of Seth?
That would be interesting. They do got kind of like a
they have a history.
Yeah, have a history.
They have a history. Plus, in the beginning, if you think about it, you remember when Sammy was talked to Seth and Seth gave him a chance to come with him?
Yeah.
This could be a long-term story arc where Sammy finally gets his comeuppance. He finally does at the Cody Rhodes, that killer instinct kicks in when it needs to, and he gets it. After thinking about it, I really say they could do something with this. If they can make Sammy and Karrion come out of this looking good, if they do the right thing with Karrion. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. Real quick, just get my final thoughts on the match. Thought the match was good. Still surprised by the final result of the match. The one thing that I am happy about is that Karrion Kross got his old entrance back. His old entrance was fire. Yeah. And I would say that. And then real quick, the one thing that I like about doing this podcast and this stuff is sometimes you get free stuff. And this is what I got right here. I got a free copy of the Karrion Kross book. So so anybody that's watching this, make sure you get the book. It's supposed to be coming out this week or whatever. So
Sweet.
just a little cheap plug right there.
Word.
All right, y'all. So we got the women's tag team match. The Judgment Days, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez went up against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Bliss and Flair are the new women's tag team champions. Sam, what did you think about this tag match?
I wrote some notes actually on this one. Roxanne is so tiny, never realized it before because Alexa herself is small and she's bigger than her. I find that Charlotte and Alexa seem to be really enjoying this run together, like a straight shoot. They look like they were actually having a lot of fun together, legitimately. Now, changing her name from Gonzalez to Rodriguez, how? I'm asking fans out there to comment and let us know, what is the big deal of changing your last name from NXT to there? Because does the name Rodriguez garner more attention than Gonzalez, or what's the deal there? I don't see what that was. That was my thought. Okay, the match itself, I thought it was fun. I thought the girls worked really, really good together. You had two bigs and you had two smalls, right? But it was just a good match. And again, like I said, that energy between Alexa and Charlotte, it was real. It was legit energy. They were having fun. Here's two girls. If you ask Charlotte during her injury time, would this be something that she was going towards? No. It just kind of happened. You had two girls who kind of really had no direction at this moment going on. And they found chemistry together. They look good. I'm looking forward to the run. The punch that Alexa gave at the near the end there at the close of the match to put out Charlotte was really fun. And they're just waiting. And when Charlotte was standing there, the camera caught it perfectly. She had her in the Sister Abigail. She turns around. She sees Charlotte standing there. This is where camera work is key, and this is where WWE wins all the time. That shot right there was money for me because, oh shit, is she going to knock her in the face? But no, she jumps by her, takes out Raquel, Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3. Only thing missing from with that was the kiss on the forehead. Maybe in the moment she forgot to do it, but these are the little things that we pick up on, right, guys?
Right.
So the energy was great. I loved it. That's what I was looking for. That chemistry between the two girls, and it worked. And you're talking about Charlotte Flair, where a lot of people can't get along with her.
That's what's up.
And they found something. So I like it. I'm looking forward to the run, and I'm looking forward to the breakup when it officially happens. And I think when that happens, then we'll start to see the Bray Wyatt Alexa start to emerge.
Yeah, that's what's up. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts on this match?
I think this was a change in direction because Charlotte and Alexa was not supposed to tag together. They were supposed to fight each other.
Yeah.
You could see, again, like Sat said, they're legitimately loving it, having fun. And you can see if you leave Charlotte alone, the fans can like Charlotte. But when WWE consistently try to push her down our throats, we're gonna boo the hell out of her. Right. It's not that Charlotte is not liked, but it's just the way you portray her and the way she comes off in interviews. So that I thought the match was great. I was upset because I knew that the Judgment Day was going to lose. I thought they have so much mileage to go with that. They may end up getting the titles back, and that'll be cool. But the match was great. Can't argue anything. Camera work is good. I think one thing though that WWE has, again, they're good and bad, and this goes back to moments. When certain people have moments, they run with it. The Charlotte and Alexa, that wasn't where they were going, but they were quick to change it. Then some people, going back to my little beef about some people naturally get over and they're like, no, we're going this way. This is the way. And this is a prime example of that. Depending on who you are and how big you are, that's how they decide things. Which, hey, when you have money players, you do money things. So I'm not mad at it. It's just that's what I wanted to point out. I hope they at least let Charlotte and Alexa go a few months and not rush the breakup.
Yeah, no, I think they're gonna have fun. I think they got something here. I think it's gonna last a little while. And like I said, I mean, it's great for both these girls. I'm looking forward to it. And I don't think the wrong people lost. I don't think it hurts Raquel. I don't think it hurts Roxanne in any way. But yeah, no, it should be interesting. I'm happy. I'm actually happy with that result.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I'm happy, but I still wanted the Judgment Day to keep it. But now it's up to WWE not to rush, because a lot of times they rush things. Let it simmer, let it simmer, let it simmer. That's all. Let it simmer. If you're gonna do it, let it simmer.
Yeah. Just give my final thoughts, and it's just like what you guys said, because I think there's long-term storytelling for both of these tag teams. Like, you got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez being that new member of the Judgment Day and her trying to fit in while Liv is gone. And you know what I'm saying, her little flirtatious ways with Dominic. And then, Raquel is Liv's homegirl, but could she possibly, if they get the titles again, could she start being closer to Roxanne? So that's interesting. Then
well, it's interesting to see what Liv typed out. She goes, "Oh shucks."
Right. And then you got the situation with Charlotte and Alexa. You know what I'm saying? The two, Charlotte wasn't really, into really being her tag team partner at first, but now you kind of see them like slowly coming together. And it's just gonna be interesting, like once they start teasing that breakup and once they lose the titles, is Charlotte gonna go heel, or is Alexa gonna go heel? I think Alexa goes heel depending on where the Wyatt Six are at that time when they make the switch. If the Wyatts are heels, then I think Alexa be a heel because eventually her character is gonna have some part with the Wyatt Six. It's just from the music that she got and just the way she act, you know that the Wyatts are still in part of her character somewhere. So I think that's just the interesting part about these two teams.
Well, what I like what they've done, Mike and Professor here with Alexa, is everyone thought she was going to come right back into that at some point right away. They haven't done that with her, which I'd like, which is leaving that door open, right? Because if you think about it, when she went all Bray Wyatt, who was the person that was trying to pull her out of it?
It was
Nikki Cross, Sister Abigail, the current Sister Abigail. So for her to be gone and have her get sucked into it and whatnot, this is where I'm looking. It's, if we're doing it right, this is where it should go. Now, if you think about it, it's an interesting dynamic between Charlotte and Alexa as well, because they all came from that same class. But the A class was Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley, number 4. Yeah. Then you had the B class, which was Carmella, Alexa, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Alexa, between the two of those girls, they got 19, close to 20 world championships between the two of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Alexa is that one girl that came out of the B class that did a lot more than the class A.
Yeah.
Fair play? When you looked at her in NXT, you would have never thought she was going to be what she is today.
Yeah.
Nope.
You would never have thought that she could have left the WWE and come back still. Like when she came back, I was happy.
Yeah.
So happy to the fact that my wife probably thought that I had, bad thoughts. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Those kind of, I was just legitimately so happy. I'm giddy every time I see her. I was so happy to see her win a title again after so long and hold the belt the way that she does. Those little details that I missed about Alexa Bliss. I've always been a Bliss fan. I can't deny it. I can't hide it. I'm a brunette guy, but she's one blonde that I will go for. To win a match.
One thing about this, I think you're right on the head with it, Mike, except don't let the White Six turn bad. Leave them good. Let her be the catalyst of going bad.
But are they good or bad? I think they're anti-heroes right now.
They're tweeners.
Right?
What hell? But that's the tag team division. Name a bad team all over tweeners now.
The only good guy team right now is probably the Street Profits.
Well, I wouldn't even necessarily say they're good. Yeah. That's what I said. All of them are tweeners.
Yeah.
Facts. Them probably it. But the thing is, I think it will be money and to help get Charlotte where the company wants Charlotte. Damn sure let Alexa turn heel because they want Charlotte to stay face.
The hate for Charlotte, and I think I'm going to throw Becky in here as well because they're the only two athletes. I'm saying athletes because I'm combining men and women. They're the only two athletes on that WWE roster that I know of that can take a year off and come back and win a title right away.
Yeah.
She came back, won the Rumble.
And what I was gonna say is, but the thing is, people respect Becky more than Charlotte because they think Charlotte is getting coddled. Becky fought from the bottom to come up, so fans are more instinct to rock with Becky than Charlotte. And Charlotte.
And my only knock on Becky is that she should stop sharing her closet with Seth.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When she wants to turn it, if she wants us to hate her, she can make us hate her. If she wants us to like her, she can make her like her. That's the difference with her and Charlotte.
Absolutely, I agree.
Sweet. So let's this is the last match of night one. This is actually the first match of the show. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I picked Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I think Joe did too. Samp, you was the only one. Wait a minute. Yeah, Samp, you got that one right. Professor Bear, what was your thoughts on this tag match?
Chef Kiss, I loved it. I love the way the whole thing went around. I love the best detail was Roman taking the spear and getting Jay out the way. I think that was great for a match that I was somewhat into. I think they did it correctly. It helped everybody, and letting Jay get that win was tremendous. Didn't hurt the Bronze one bit, and especially since Seth got the title, it's just going to make Braun Breaker even more savage because he's going to want to kill Jay. Yeah. I think they did a great job.
That's what's up. Real quick, I don't know if y'all saw, but it looked like Braun Breaker might have a leg injury because when Seth cashed in, Braun Breaker came in and he was like had something wrapped around his leg and he was limping a little bit. So that's something to keep an eye on and see if they say anything about that on SummerSlam tonight. But Sam, what was your thoughts on this match?
Curtain jerker did all the right things it was supposed to be as a curtain jerker. In wrestling terms, first match sets the tone for the night, and that's what it did. I had nothing wrong with it. My only knock on it, though, Professor and Mikey, is very simply the spear at the ending sequence on Bronson Reed. That by Jey Uso. That was probably the only thing that I looked at and go, man. That was the only thing that I looked at and said, nah, that's not right. That didn't make sense to me. Because you're building up Bronson Reed as a tsunami, and you had this little skinny guy, and the spear itself wasn't that great because he's too little to really grab around him, right? It was more like of a shoulder tackle to his left breast, and and he fell down like it was like the most powerful thing in the world, you know. So that for me was a little unbelievable. If I have to be nitpicky, that's the only thing that shouldn't have just like okay, yes, he got off his frog splash. But, man, that wasn't enough for me to take down a big man like that the way you've been building him. That's the only thing I'll say on it. Roman didn't get his shoes back. That I was hoping that he would have. But he didn't. He's, Paul's still carrying the shoes. So, but the match itself delivered, like I said to you guys in the build-up to it, this is the only match that probably fulfilled wrestling kind of psychology where you had Jay getting his ass handed to him every week by these two, and then you had Roman getting his ass handed to them in some form or the other whenever he was out there, and then together they got their asses handed to them, with the double spear through the thing. So you knew it almost felt like, okay, this is the way you got to give them the victory in that sense, right? And it didn't hurt the Brawny brothers. No, not at all. Now, to the leg itself, it's wrapped up. Apparently, it's not a major issue or anything like that. It's more of just a precautionary thing. He should be okay. But probably not to expect too much from him for the next week or so until they know 100%. But it seems to be okay from what I've seen and read.
Let me say this real quick. I'm so used to Jay's spear looking like crap. I'm used to it now. So I'm like, hey, that's what
but that one was really crap because of the guy he was doing it to. If it was a Sammy or someone else, understandable. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like Floyd Mayweather trying to spear Big Show.
Well,
and it's just a mismatch.
Well, and I guess because I've never I'm been a opponent of Jay is not as great as they're trying to push him. And it's like, well, his spirit never looks. I'm like the Undertaker. There should be no one, and I mean no one, this includes Roman, allowed to do the spirit. The only person that should be doing the spirit is Braun.
Right now, absolutely. He's the most powerful, and we'll see that phase out with those other guys as we go along here. But yeah, man, match itself was fine. Hey, Mike, I sent you the list. I know we're live, but
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I tried to. I just put the number beside the match or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're about to talk about night 2. First match of the night is going to be the women's triple threat match. Naomi, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Naomi's been on the tear right now. You know what I'm saying? And like she made this heel turn, and I feel like she's one of the best heels on the roster right now, Raw or SmackDown. And it's a good transformation for her, having the Glow character for so long, and it's like it got over, but it didn't get her over to the point where it made her a champion when she came back to WWE when she was at TNA. I'm gonna go with Naomi to win this match. I think that I'm not gonna say people are getting tired of Rhea being in the title matches, but I kind of like that she's chasing right now, and the same thing with Io. So, Professor Bear, what's your thoughts on this match and who you got winning?
I got Naomi to. I think for a couple of reasons. One, like you said, Rhea with the chase is good. Plus, that'll give her a chance to have another WrestleMania moment. I think Io was shocked on the way they had her have the WrestleMania win and run. But I think too, the month they got her, Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer at Clash at the Paris. That's definitely a given. And I see the rumor is Naomi is not going to be around too much longer, so I think give her a couple, at least a couple of months run, then let her drop the title.
Yeah. So you going with Naomi in this match?
Yes, sir.
All right. Samp, what's your thoughts and who you going with?
Yeah, I think this night I'm probably not gonna have as many right. I just have a feeling it's a harder night to predict. I'm gonna go Naomi as well, only for the fact I think it's nothing to do with what you guys have said. I think it's more to do with the fact that it's going to be the story of Io and Rhea costing each other, and Naomi picking up on it and getting the victory that way. We do have see, if you look at both women's title, in my opinion, I think the path for Tiffany Stratton is easier to map out in my mind than this title on Raw. With the advent of Stephanie Vaquer and whatnot's going on there. So she's going to play a role in here somewhere, but eventually I almost have a feeling it's going to come back to Io and Rhea at some point for that title, if they stay on the Raw roster. So for that reason, I don't think Naomi's going to win because of her own virtue. I think she's going to win because the other two girls are going to be too caught up with each other, and one's going to cost the other. Basically, if I'm booking it, Rhea's probably going to do whatever her finisher is on Naomi or on Io, and somehow Naomi's going to come out of nowhere and cash in on that. That's why I see it playing out. I'm even going further than just making a pick.
That's what's up. All right, fellas. So this was the second match is going to be the TLC 6 tag team ladder match. You got the Wyatt 6 defending against the Street Profits, DIY, Ray Phoenix and Andrade, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Fraxium. I'm going with the Wyatt 6 just because on the strength they just excuse me. Just appreciate it. Thank you. Just on the strength that they just won the belts. And I don't know. I think the Wyatt 6 need that. They need to show some type of dominance. And, putting the belts on them is a cool way to start. I like to see Uncle Howdy or Eric Rowan get some type of story or whatever. But I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a lot of high-flying spots. Couple people probably gonna go through some ladders and tables, but I'm gonna go with the Wyatt 6. Samp, who you got winning this match?
Probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to go Fraxium.
You're going with Fraxium?
I'm going to go Fraxium and my dark horse, and I think we should have a dark horse in this because there's so many teams involved. So, Professor, if you have a dark horse, man. But my dark horse will probably be Andrade and Rey Fenix.
Okay. All right.
And the reason I say that is we've seen all the other teams who have it. We've all seen everyone have it, and I don't think the Wyatts need to be the Wyatts. Right? Unless they're interchanging partners, that's the only way you're going to get Eric and Uncle Howdy getting a rub in here somehow, right? I think they have something else for Howdy. Who knows? Maybe he'll go after the world title. Maybe he goes after the U.S. title, something like that. I think Rowan is more of a henchman than anything else. I don't really see him being involved in any storylines. The last time they tried it, he had a mechanical spider in a cage. Right? Let's just leave that where it's at, right? I mean, they need to ensure that they do right by the White Six this time. Right? They need to ensure that they book them properly, place them properly, and I don't think they need the tag team titles to do that. So I'm going to go with Fraxium. I just have a feeling that they're going to get it tonight.
So you got Fraxium to win the ladder match, and then your dark horse is Andrade
and Phoenix.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Professor Bear, who you got? You could pick a winner and you could pick a dark horse.
So funny enough, I was going to say the Street Profits, but then before Sat said it, I was like, no, I think Fraxium, because they have just got on the roster. They've been hot. They've been beating every team, and then they drawn into the vortex of tag team wrestling now. I still think Fraxium will win, and I got the Street Profits as my dark horse. I think one thing about it, SmackDown tag team has been, as much as I'm tired of seeing the same tag team, at least they're including most of the tag teams and having something for them to do.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be getting into the tag team divisions like that, especially as chaotic as it is. But I'm happy they're the only thing that's keeping tag team alive in WWE.
It's better than Raw.
Yeah. Better than NXT. It just But
right now, SmackDown has the best tag team division, in my opinion, for men.
Right. And I was gonna say that, but that's the ebb and flow. Sometimes tag team division be way up here, then it drops down. So it's the ebb and flow with the tag division. I definitely agree. The Wyatt Six don't need the titles. As much as I love Johnny Gargano and Ciampa and what they've been doing, it's stale now. Definitely don't carry anything. The Motor City Machine Guns, for all the hype and everything, man, send them back to TNA. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Honestly, or even NXT.
Yeah, something. Because
they put the rocket on their back and they took off and everything was beautiful, and then they took it off them and they had no momentum.
Oh, I don't even think when they put it on them, I thought it was half shot. It didn't go up; it went sideways.
Fair enough, man. Kind of like Droopy the dog and that hound, that wolf guy.
Right. So, I definitely think Fraxium and the Street Profits are my dark horse.
Sweet. So since I picked the Wyatt Six, I'm gonna go with, since y'all picked Fraxium to the favorite, y'all picked them to win. I'm gonna pick them as my dark horse, because honestly, I don't see them putting the belts back on the Street Profits. I don't see Motor City Machine Guns. Like you said with DIY, that whole thing with them is getting kind of stale. Andrade and Rey Fenix look like a good tag team, but it's like you said, Fraxium pretty much beat everybody, and they've been kind of hot. And if you really think about it, they only out of NXT, they were like the only males that got called up. Everybody else was females that got called up. So I could see them, if the Wyatts don't win, I could see them getting a SummerSlam moment. So I'm gonna go with them as my dark horse.
One thing I wanted to say about Andrade and Ray, I don't think they're going to get it because they're going to put Ray and his brother back together. I think this is just something for them to do.
Yeah. All right, so the next match, that's the third on the card, is going to be Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental title. If Lyra loses the match, then she can't get a shot at the Intercontinental title, I guess, as long as Becky got it or whatever. I'm ready for this story to end. For real, it's just like, what, because it's like a side of me feel like, okay, it's cool they putting a belt on Becky because she brings a little prestige to it. But then you got somebody like Lyra, who's a young and up-and-comer mid-card wrestler. It'd be cool to let her have a belt and kind of elevate it, but I understand they probably want to put a name, have somebody bigger status hold that title. And then you got Bayley that's in the middle of this story too. Honestly, it don't matter who wins, but I'm gonna go ahead and just pick Becky Lynch to win this match. Samp, what's your thoughts on who you got winning?
All right, so in the background here, I'm watching Elimination or Extreme Rules with Becky and Seth fighting against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
Ooh.
So I know, it's in the background. It's not my fault. I don't control what's going on. That being said, Becky will win with Bayley's help.
So
Bayley will help her win. And I think that's going to make it interesting because then those two will have something going on together for a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to go Becky here too. I just don't think Lyra, I don't know. Nothing against her, but even on the mic, she fumbles a lot. She still needs to work on certain elements of her game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I think Becky's the best person to hold that title right now until someone can emerge, or Bayley turns on her and you get that match at Survivor Series.
That's what's up.
And right now, the most powerful couple in wrestling is Becky and Seth again.
Yeah, that's true. She got the IC Women's title. He got the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah,
they are the power couple right now. What's your thoughts, Professor Barry, and who you got winning?
I'm like you. I'm sick of Becky and Valkyria. I think Becky will win. I think Valkyria, she needs some more. I think it did good for her to win the Intercontinental title. I think they've made the women's Intercontinental title value go up with the feud. I think Becky and Bayley are going to go clash for it. I think Bayley is playing a game where she's going to sucker Becky. So
you go the other way too.
Yeah, I just see for me. I think it's easier to see Bayley win and Bayley lose it to someone else. And here's the thing that I want to say about the Intercontinental title and the US title. They have made the Intercontinental title feel relevant. They have not did that with the US title for the women. And what's the point of having mid-card titles if you're not going to let your mid-card division fight for the title? And it's like,
well, I mean, they have the strap on Julia, who technically is the mid-card person there right now, right? I mean, in essence.
So, yeah, I agree with you.
But I think just because of the name of who's carrying the Intercontinental title is giving it more value.
Julia has not defended that title since she won it.
No, she hasn't, and I get that.
And we paid for and I don't know why they always put the Intercontinental title higher than the U.S. title.
Because it's theirs. The U.S. title came from WCW.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, if you're gonna have mid-card championships and you want to build, you're gonna build your roster and get people. You got to have, and they're separate titles. You want your both brands to have something meaningful. Then, damn it, make your U.S. title valid.
Fair play.
That's a whole nother rant. I'm done.
I would say,
I can't disagree.
I would say with the as far as the women's U.S. titles, not nothing against Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega, but I think maybe they started off giving the championship to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that Chelsea Green didn't deserve it, because I think she did. But if you look at a lot of her matches, she was like the champion, but she kind of looked weak. You know what I'm saying? And then Zelina Vega kind of played that underdog role when she was the champ. And it was like, depending on who she was going up against, like who really took her serious to win. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so Zelina's always been in that position anyways her whole career, right? I mean, it's just been the downfall for that poor girl. It's like, cosplay. She's tried everything, man, but she's just got that demeanor of her that you just, she's always going to get eaten up, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I see that as well. But speaking of Chelsea Green, don't be surprised if she's going to be the next feud for Tiffany.
Yeah,
I would be. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be surprised.
I think that's the direction they're going to go here, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that being said, I'm not saying this because she comes from Vancouver Island, which is very close to me. Being a Canadian and all, but man, she's over.
She's been.
People love her, and you know what? The amount of bumps this girl's taken, she's taken some serious. She's done everything she's been asked to.
Yeah.
Like, how many guys take a double table, go through 2 tables in a garbage can?
Yeah.
And that's not the only time she's done that. This girl will take a beating, man. We've seen her take everyone's finisher. We've seen her just get crumpled, and everyone's still cheering for her. Everyone loves Chelsea Green.
Yeah,
she's not no slouch, because I know she won the TNA Knockouts championship a few times, right?
Yeah. Like this girl is taking bumps like nobody's business. Harder bumps than some dudes do, dude.
I'm about to say, if you go back and see her match with Penta, and oh my God, it was amazing. And this was before both of them were in WWE, of course. This was Lucha Underground. But again, I agree with you, but I don't know. It's something about the SmackDown women's division that they do not push the undercard for crap. No. I mean, that's
not much of an undercard there, though.
Yeah, and they got a nice mid card. You got Mishin, you got B-Fab that kind of improved a little bit. You got the Secret Harvest. You know what I'm saying? You could put one of them in a singles match, or put them in contention for the women's tag titles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, Candice LeRae. And
you notice that B-Fab and Candice went back to their tag teams.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I would love to see is the fact that B-Fab is with Montev, with the Street Profits. I would love to see an angle where Bianca gets jealous.
Yeah.
Why are you with my man? Right? Right? You want to turn her heel? This is where you turn her heel, and you turn the Profits heel too.
Exactly.
Legit heel.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Because like I said, I think B-Fab has improved a little bit. I'm not gonna say that it's to the point where it's like put her in a big storyline, but I think she's improved where you could give her some TV time and stuff like that.
She's
That's
definitely
B5 is the way she says, "Hey, bro." I just still, the little hairs on the back of my neck up.
So we all going with Becky Lynch for the
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Different ways of getting it done.
Okay, cool. So this match, I think this is the match that I'm looking forward to. I've been talking about him and saying that he's the future of WWE and possibly my early favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Jacob Fatu going up against Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title in the steel cage. I've been going back and forth with this one too because it's like I want to see Jacob get the title again, but Solo just won the belt. So it's like I'm trying to go with my heart, but I'm trying to go with a pick that makes sense. But I think I'm gonna go. Damn, I'm gonna go with Solo. I'm gonna go with Solo with to win this one. Of course, he got the MFTs that's on his side, and I think that they're gonna play a big factor in this match. So, Professor Bear, what's your thoughts and who you got winning?
I'm like you. This is probably the hardest one. I when everybody was dunking on Solo, I actually started. I was like, they're starting to do something with Solo.
Yeah,
Quiet as kept. They're doing something with Solo, and I think, honestly, Solo needs to keep the title. I honestly do. I think I enjoy. He is showing that he is so much more than the Usos' baby brother.
yeah,
He's so much more than Roman Reigns enforcer. He is low key funny as hell.
yeah.
I'm going with Solo, even though I love Jacob, but Jacob doesn't need the title to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So I'm going Solo too.
All right. Who you got, Sam? Sam, what's your thoughts and who's gonna win this steel cage match?
When I look at Solo Sikoa come out after everything that's happened with the bloodline and everything, I looked at him as this is a poor guy who's gonna be the benefactor of nothing out of all of them. Okay, but he was proving me right for the longest time too. But in the last little while, this man has really shown and that he stepped out of that. Like if you look at him and his little group, they have nothing to do with the bloodline. You don't even associate them or in any storyline with Jay. Well, I guess Big Jim is there, but outside of Big Jim, even, he's not involved. There's no Roman. There's no Jay. You're not looking for any of those guys to come and interfere in anything. So they've done a great job of that. Solo, when he came out last night on SmackDown, or the 2 nights ago on SmackDown, and just the way he was just walking down that aisle with that look in his eye, I'm like, shit, the man's arrived. Yeah. Right? He looked good. That being said, steel cage is still anything goes, no disqualification. So what's going to stop these guys from going in there?
Yeah.
Right? Now, my thing is, I think Solo will win, but I think the catalyst here for me will be who's coming back. Will we get Tama Tonga back? Does Tama Tonga come back now, who was his original right-hand man before everyone else? But since then, you've had Tala, you've had, all of the other guys come back. So here's where I put a little twist in it all. Does Solo win with the help of Tama? Or does Solo lose because Tama turned on him because he felt neglected and no one cared about him? Because they don't mention him at all in anything.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
I mean, if I'm just playing with, things on my head, Jacob doesn't need the title. I think Jacob's the next step after this. Because if you think about it, what Jacob has done in the little time that he's been there has overpassed and overtaken Solo. This is why they don't want to bring him on. They had the man signed for a year and held him back because they knew what he would do.
Yeah.
And he did that in 2 months. This man is phenomenal. He is a future world champion. Yes, he is. I think this is Solo needs this. The MFTs need this. It's just how it's going to get done.
Sure.
So I think Solo wins. I'm going to pick Solo, but if he loses, it's because Tama came and helped the Samoan Werewolf.
Sweet. And I did real quick before we get to the next match. I hope that in the story that they give Jacob some type of help. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it just seems like week after week he's just gonna get stumped. You know what I'm saying? Like he might get his licks on JC Mateo and Tongaloa, but in the long run, it's what 4 and 5 on one. You know what I'm saying? Like all these members of the Samoan dynasty, and they can't get this man some help. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he did mention Jim. He did mention Big Jim.
But
Anybody.
You don't want to overflood the Samoan dynasty either, though, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you know, and to be honest, I think it suits Jacob more because he's that kind of guy. The more guys it takes to beat him up, the stronger he looks.
Yeah. And then, too, I've been hearing that Jimmy might be on his way to Raw because Naomi is now on Raw. So he could be heading over there soon. So that's going to be interesting.
Which will be even better for Jacob because then he can run buckshot and doesn't need anybody, man. I mean, the only other guy that I could see kind of in and trying to help him would be LA Knight, who's got no direction right now.
That's true. That's true.
And ironically enough, he said he's okay if they release him so he can go be a top guy somewhere else. He said that. He did say that.
Hey, he ain't lying, though.
For a guy who's had every opportunity in the WWE, this is where I get upset with talent, man. Like, why are you complaining if you don't have a moment right now? Wrestling is ebbs and flows. Some guys are up, some guys are down. It's just the way wrestling works. Ethan should understand that. And I call him Ethan by his real name because he needs to understand. He's old enough to know how the business works, right?
Yeah.
Where's he going to go and be a top guy? Nowhere. He's not going to make the money. He'll make more money being a mid-card guy in the WWE than he would anywhere else if he goes anywhere else.
But that's the thing.
Except
it's not most. I won't say most. Some people it's not about the money; it's about the love.
I get that.
But that's even with like Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay had a chance to come to WWE, and he turned it down because he didn't. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really about the money, and he didn't want the schedule, whatever. You know, he just wanted to wrestle. You know, so
he's always been that way. Ospreay has, even back in the day before AEW was even thought in someone's mind. He said that he kept a very limited schedule because he went to Japan and then he got to go home to London. And that's what he wanted. The way WWE works right now, it's basically the same schedule as everyone since they cut out all the house shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason those guys don't want to come to WWE is because they don't want, I'm not saying fall in line, but that's the only way I can figure this out.
I would say that they don't want to lose that little bit of creative control they got.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%.
That's why I would say it'll be a long time before you see Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in WWE, unless they just like, you know what?
Those guys will show up when they know they have their final contract coming up, okay?
Yeah.
It's a final contract thing for a lot of those guys over there. They realize, oh, crap, I need to get here because this is going to be my big payday, and then I can retire.
Oh, and then it's a mix of I'd rather be me and make the money I am than go over there and be a drone.
Yeah. And I would even say the same thing. I would say the same thing with Moxley, too. I don't see him going back no time soon unless, like I said, it's that last run.
I think Moxley, when I look at Moxley, I just think about what he did with Brock. He didn't do right business with him. He screwed that feud up. He's the one who made that match a mess. Okay? The Moxley on Stone Cold's podcast, he's the one who made that difficult. Wasn't Stone Cold. So Mox needs to grow up.
So basically, he's just a difficult dude.
He's a difficult dude to work with.
But see, that's the one thing about it, and that's where, for me, that shows you wrestling is not just clear cut. There's different types of wrestlers. Some are about the passion and the love. Some are about the money. Some are about a mix. So that's why I love we have different companies that are big now to do different things, because when WWE were by themselves, man, it was terrible because they wanted a certain thing. That's why you have to have variety.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's why Cena is so great, in my opinion, because he had to work in that time. If you look at WWE at that time as a hockey fan, maybe Mike, you'll understand this. I'm not sure if you are a big hockey guy, Professor, but in hockey there was a time called the dead puck era, which was created by the Detroit or by the New Jersey Devils, just that defensive style of play, you know. And Cena was a leader in the dead puck era of wrestling.
So, for Jacob Fatu and Solo, we are going with Solo, right?
Yep.
Solo.
Okay, sweet. So this next match is for the Intercontinental title. We got AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. It's been an interesting story. AJ Styles been kind of playing little goofy mind games with Dominic, you know, showing up as a janitor and an EMS worker and all this. So what's your thoughts on this? I'm gonna start with you, Sam. Who you got winning?
Initially, I thought maybe AJ should take the strap just because, you know, this is his final run. This is his final contract. He's not going to re-sign after this. This is what I understand. The fact that we're getting him this long now is he should have probably retired already, but because of the injuries and everything, you know, he has to fulfill the dates and kind of come back. So he's still here. Now, with the light of everything that's happening at AAA and Dominic, I almost feel I have to go Dominic here. I think Dominic will win it just to keep him strong going into that AAA match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is the only reason why I can see that happening. But that's my pick. I'm going Dominic, but my heart wants to see AJ with one more run. Yeah. And the subtle comedy by AJ is phenomenal in this.
Yeah.
You know, it's so subtle. You have to like, you know, just the little things that he's doing is phenomenal. I love it. Right. I mean, pardon the word phenomenal. I get it. But I mean, it's been really, really fun to watch. And those guys are working great together. Definitely. Right. I don't think Dom gets enough flowers for the work that he puts in. And I don't think he gets enough respect for how hard he works. I don't care what anybody says. This guy has no reason to be on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT week after week after week. He's a workhorse, man. If you look at the stats of last year, he had the most matches out of anyone.
Yeah.
So has he paid his dues? Absolutely.
Sweet.
He's earned where he is right now. And I can't wait to see him as a face. He'll be awesome as a face when it happens.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be so over when he eventually turns face.
And that being said, I understand, and spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, but I think they're gonna do a tribute to Eddie Guerrero tonight because it's his 20-year anniversary of being in the WWE. So I think they're doing a special entrance, an Eddie Guerrero-like entrance, which Dom will probably, you know, be a part of. And if you think about it, man, he's got the same hairstyle and the mustache. I saw that Ray versus Eddie match at Clash of Champions yesterday. And I swear, I thought, wait, what's Dom doing here? Oh shit, that's Eddie. Like for literally, I had to do a double take. Oh wait a minute.
No, that's crazy. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts and who you got winning this match?
I got Dom too. I think he's just proven himself. I like that. I want AJ to win it, but I just think it makes more sense if Dom continues to run. And I can see, matter of fact, I see Dom winning, and I see Finn taking the title off of him.
Yeah, that's potentially it, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been playing so many mind games with the Judgment Day. I think, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, they're already down 2 straps. They've got 3 left in that group.
Yep.
Okay. That's what's up. So yeah, I think My prediction, I think I'm gonna go with Dom too, just on the strength of it. Like you guys said, it'd be cool to see AJ had like one last run, but right now, you know what I'm saying, Dom is that guy, you know what I'm saying, and I think it would be cool for him to come on Raw every Monday. He got the Intercontinental title, and then he got the title from AAA, and I think that would just put more status and more prestige on his character. And he could be that line of guys that they put that rocket on in the future. You know, you see they already doing it with Braun. They doing it with Jacob Fatu, Rhea Ripley. So do something with him.
And if we're looking at filler feuds for Seth here until we get to Punk and him again, you know, AJ Seth would be real fun too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I think that will be a fun feud. I think Sammy and AJ with Seth will be fun until, you know, we get to Mania with Punk.
And can I say this?
Go ahead.
Dom's frog splash is just fire as hell.
Yeah.
He, like, how big he is too.
I mean, Dom has put in the work. That most people don't even put him with his dad anymore. They're like Dom. That takes a lot when you can do that.
I've said that on our show as well, Professor. Thank you for bringing that up. I said that if you look at Dominic Mysterio, you know, you think, oh yeah, that's, you know, he's no longer Ray's son, right?
Yes,
it's you know, Dom's dad. So respect to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Pardon me.
All right, fellas. So we all agree Dominic's gonna win this match against AJ.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, sweet. So this is the last match of night 2 of SummerSlam, the main event. Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring, going up against John Cena, WWE champion in the New Jersey Street Fight. Just for the record, before we go any further, I am not believing that babyface turn from John Cena. It just felt like straight up baloney. I feel like he's going to turn on him as soon as the match starts, just to have that dynamic of good guy, bad guy. I'm going with John Cena to win this, but I don't know what, but I feel like they got something in store for this match. Just to have people talking going in after the pay-per-view and going into the next day. I'm going with Cena. Samp, what's your thoughts on this match and who you got winning?
We live in a world where 1 minute we're cheering everybody, and then just within 5 seconds we hate the guy. This is wrestling fans around the world. It doesn't matter, you know. The swerve, in my opinion, is the fact that we're all buying into the swerve, and the real swerve is going to come. At some point, they had to turn Tina back. Sorry, I sounded Santino there. Tina. At some point, they'll have to turn him back because you don't want him to retire as a heel. You're going to have to turn him at some point. Maybe this is the point. Maybe this is the Cody heel change that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't heard anything from The Rock. I don't know if he plays a role in this and that. This is a tough one to call. They made it really, really difficult to call now because of everything that they threw at us, right? Mm-hmm. Do I believe the face change is legit? I do, just because the swerve is so easy. And it's so easy for everyone to say, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
None of us saw what happened at Elimination Chamber happen.
That's true.
Yeah. Fair? It caught us all off guard. Now, if this happens and this is seen as 180, it's the worst 180 I've ever seen in the history of life. But that being said, it totally suits the Cena character to do a turn like that. Only Cena could have done something like that. Like, I realized my mistake. Now I'm going to be a good guy. He's the only guy I could see pulling that off.
Yeah.
And people not being upset by it. This is where Cody turns, I feel. This is where we're going to get that turn that everybody's been wanting. And I think this is where The Rock and Cody maybe kind of connect here.
That's what's up. So you got Cody winning?
I'm going to go Cody, man. I think I'm going to have the worst night of predictions tonight. But I'm going to go Cody. I just have a feeling that the dupe is the dupe.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel it's going to be
Too easy.
some type of swerve in this match, definitely, for sure. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts? Who you got winning this match?
R-Truth comes out and interferes.
That would make it interesting. I'm to the point now. They've just thrown everything up in the air. It's like whatever comes down, we're just gonna run with it. The Rock, the start with Cena. The Cena thing was good, but then it went all off the rails. But for him to try the swerve with a swerve is right up his alley. I still think it's too early for him to become a face. But I can see the double turn where Cody just goes ballistic and just won't stop, gets the title, still won't stop. But then where would you go from there? Because it's like, who do you have to challenge Cody as the heel? I mean, as Cody being the heel, who's the face?
If my man Jacob doesn't win that title, this would be a great little story for him.
Yeah, but I think it would be early.
I get it, but I mean, what do we know anymore? Anything, Professor?
Exactly. Like I said, it's all up in the air.
And you know what's good though? What I like about it is the fact that we don't know, and this is great.
Exactly. That's always great. When we don't know, we're guessing. We just don't. If I have to make a choice, I'm gonna go with John Cena.
Fair enough.
And the reason being, Cena, like you said, the 180 is just, yeah, you're right. I should have listened to you all along. I'm John Cena.
I don't hate wrestling. I don't want to kill wrestling.
And then just think about this. You just got beat down and a man took your hand and signed the contract for you. You don't think that this man gonna have some type of revenge on that? It's just the way he said it. It's like, this is just the type of this is just what I needed to remind myself. Man, the start of that match, he about to whoop his ass. That's what I think is about to happen.
You know, when Cena said that, you know what that reminded me of? That locker room scene of Hulk Hogan sitting there and his supposed son at the time coming in with the yellow and the red saying, here. And Hogan became a good guy again. You know what I mean? You remember that?
Yeah.
That's what that was, man. Rest in peace, Hulk. Rest in peace.
Yeah, because it's like I said, like, because I know somebody in the group chat that put in, like, had said something about Cena turning babyface, and I responded like, I don't know about this. I'm not feeling this. Just the way he came off and the way it was done, it's like, nah. Soon as that bell rings,
making us think of something that we're not supposed to think of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what we're getting here tonight is a swerve of a swerve of a swerve.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is making this interesting now. Now I'm excited an hour away.
Now I could definitely see though that Cena swerves again and Cody snaps and becomes a heel. I can see that.
Yeah, either way, man, someone is gonna walk out of there being booed.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
and let's not forget, Cena only has 13 more dates, so I don't know how much more you're gonna get out of him.
That's true.
That's true too. So me and Bear went with John Cena and Samp. You going with Cody?
I'm gonna go with Cody, man. What the heck?
All right.
Canada, no tariffs.
All right, sweet. So real quick before we get up out of here, any last thoughts on SummerSlam or anything wrestling you guys want to just briefly put out there or talk about?
Look, guys and gals, anyone who's watching the show, straight up, just watch the show, enjoy it, accept it for what it is. No one's ever going to be happy. None of us are happy. We always find something wrong. But the beauty of us finding something wrong are the minute details that most people forget to see. So leave that up to us, the professionals, and the rest of y'all, and just enjoy wrestling, man. Be happy. Be happy that we get something.
Definitely. Professor Bear, any last thoughts?
Man, I'm telling y'all, if you are just watching WWE, AEW, TNA, and you have local indie wrestling around you, please, please, please get up off your butt and go support your local wrestling. You will find so many great gems in those companies. You will have a whole different moderation. It's just different. And I went to NWA Crossfire, and again, I always love them. They are just great. I love everything. They had a street fight, and when I tell you they let it go to the point where wrestlers were out ringside and were just cheering the guys on. It got that deep, that good. And again, support local wrestling, support the indies.
Absolutely.
And they're cheaper. And most times you'll come out having a better experience because sometimes you get to meet the wrestlers. It's a whole different vibe that even WWE, as massive as they are, they cannot duplicate.
And if I may, Professor, I'd love to give you some flowers here, if I may, please. The interview that you did with the Golden Boy this week. Now, I try to watch everything everybody does. And the beauty of it is it's like a podcast, so I don't have to sit there and physically watch it. So I had that playing in the background while I was doing whatever I had to do at the time. And I really, really enjoyed that interview a lot. So I highly recommend everyone to go back and check that out. The Bobby Eaton stories were phenomenal. So, you know, the Golden Boy, man, that was phenomenal. I love that interview. He kind of reminded me of wrestling's Kevin Smith with blonde hair. So that was great. Great stuff. Thank you, Bear.
Thank you. And that, to me, not to try to, that's one reason why I love doing my podcast. I love not just getting the big interviews, which when I can, I will, but the local wrestlers to learn the story, because a lot of us do not understand what these guys and girls go through.
100%.
For the love of wrestling.
Oh,
it's not because a lot of them have to work shoot jobs, and they don't have weekends off. They're traveling, they're giving up family time for the love of it. And just to hear the stories and get to, like I said, is something. That's why I always, and I'm gonna give both of y'all props on this too. We all have podcasts, but we are all different. We bring such different formulas and things. So, man, take the time to listen. Again, if you can't watch, we're all on Spotify. Listen to it. Man, I'm telling you, you will find out stories about certain wrestlers and things that you never thought you would get to find out. Managers, referees, historians. Man, take the time to local wrestling. Check out different podcasts. If you are truly a wrestling fan, you will find so much good things out there. Just don't be closed-minded and enjoy. Hey, as my boy Joe Monroe always say, just shut up and watch, enjoy wrestling.
Right. And that being said, and then you mentioned Joe Monroe earlier that week. You had Mama Monroe on there, so we got a bit of an insight to how Joe actually thinks. Love it. And yes, I called her Mama Monroe.
Real quick, before I get up out of here, I just want to give another shout out to Professor Bear because, of course, you know, Hulk Hogan passed away last week. and I gave Samp his props on the show that he, you know, the tribute he did. And I know for a long time you were not a Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah, still not.
But you know, to put your feelings aside to do a show. I know Joe was on the show with you, and you know, just talk about what he did for pro wrestling and stuff. You know, that was cool, and that was one of the things I was a guest when I was a guest on the Holy Shit podcast that we kind of talked about. It's like, guess he did some bad things in wrestling, but Hulk Hogan did a lot for the business. Terry Bollea was the man that said the slurs, but Hulk Hogan brought a lot of joy to a lot of people in the wrestling ring for many, many decades. And you know, whether you were a fan of him or not, I feel like there's a son and a daughter that just lost their father, a wife that just lost her husband, a friend that just lost a friend, and a relative that lost a relative. So it's just like, just got to be respectful. That's all, you know.
Amen.
And just got to give your props, because I know for a while you was like you couldn't stand the brother, but hey, you did your thing. You know, a lot of people when he passed was just saying a lot of bad stuff about him, but you know, just had to give your props.
I appreciate that. And that's the one thing, no matter how much I dislike Hulk Hogan, the character, the man, or whatever, he's gone. And no matter what, I would never, ever wish that on anyone. And I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. I would not, even if you don't like me, think I'm trash or whatever, if I pass away, please, please, please don't do that to my family. And I wouldn't do that to yours.
No,
and
100%.
That's just being human. We
Okay.
all human.
So, guys, I got to run here. I got an angry client who's been waiting for his lunch patiently for the last hour. But I will end with this. There is no house without Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
There is no WSN. There is no Samp and Chance. There's no Mike from 313. I mean, we will all exist, but we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today if it wasn't singularly for Hulk Hogan. And that's taking nothing away. I'm not diminishing the bad that he has done. I don't condone it. I'm very adamant about that. But Hogan is Mount Rushmore.
Definitely.
Okay.
Amen.
He is everything we are today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah. So that being said, I gotta run, guys. I love you.
All right.
Hopefully we can get together this week and review SummerSlam. I am in the East Coast this week, so I can, be in your time zone.
Cool.
Right.
Cool. All right, guys. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Mike, thank you for everything. Love you, Professor Bear. Love you, and no homo, bros. Let's go.
Enjoy SummerSlam.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
All right, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Before we get out of here, Bear, any final thoughts or want to tell the people where they can find you?
You can always find me on Facebook. I've started a X account. I've started TikTok. I've started Instagram. I'm trying to get out there, so you're gonna see me pop up. I can't give you my stuff because they're all different, and I can't remember because I'm old. But if you check me out on Facebook, I put my socials on there, and I try to connect everything. But again, without you, the wrestling fans, it wouldn't be a me. Hall of Famer Professor Barrett. Thank y'all very much for that.
Sweet. And before I get out of here, as always, you guys can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you follow and subscribe on all those channels. And just before we get out of here, just thank everybody that came on and did this preview and prediction show with me this weekend for SummerSlam. And I'm just ready to enjoy it and see what night 2 brings. And I definitely think it's going to be a lot to talk about for night 2. So for my guest, Professor Bear, Samp, who just dipped out, and Joe Monroe, who couldn't be with us but is with us in spirit, get well, brother. I am your host, Mike D, wrestling from 313. I will catch you all this Tuesday with another new episode. But until then, enjoy WrestleMania. Well, I say WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Well, it was, SummerSlam feel like WrestleMania, but
Yeah, tonight.
enjoy SummerSlam Night 2, and I'll catch you all soon. Peace.